I'm Madhu Sharma and this is Design Mind. Every episode we teach your mind about design by analysing a website. In this episode of Design Mind, we are looking at YLS, which stands for Your Local Studio. It is a design studio based in Copenhagen. The site starts with this animated text intro. The animation only plays once, but I've looped it so we can study it more closely. The animation is a little disorientating, as it's not clear what is going on, and it's not what a user expects to see when they first come to a website. However, it is a great way to provide the user with an at-a-glance understanding of the brand and its values. It also adds a bit of enigma, which will catch the user's attention and encourage them to browse the site. After the animation, we come to the home page, which has a number of excellent features. The first is the logo, which is bold and eye-catching thanks to its simplicity. The white space that surrounds it boosts its power further. The second great feature is the navigation. It stands out by being displayed vertically, which is quite unusual on the web. Again, like the logo, its simplicity is enhanced by the white space that surrounds it. The final great feature is this tiles grid, which is bold and simple. As we scroll down, we can see the grid has an organic layout, with several squares being empty. Grids can sometimes be confusing, as it's not always clear what content the user should look at first. However, this organic approach allows certain content to be prioritized, and so provides the user with a clear path through the grid. Hovering over the images causes the information to pop up with this slick animation. Hiding the information in this way keeps the grid clean and free of distractions. Overall, the combination of bold and simple elements, together with unusual touches such as the rotated navigation, means that the design stands out and will leave a lasting impression on the audience. Let's analyse the case study pages. Like the home page, case study pages continue the use of simplicity and bold design. One neat touch is that the pages fold open on the home page, which creates a slick transition. The page begins with a paragraph that quickly summarises the features of the project. The text is set in a light grey font, which lets it fit in with the clean aesthetic of the page and stops it from being distracting. Only the title and the link are set in different colours, allowing them to stand out. The text only makes up a small part of the page. The rest of the page consists of images, which allow the project on display to sell itself. The images are displayed in the same organic layout as the front page. This works really well as it lets the layout feel clean and spacious. It also prevents the large number of images from being overpowering. One aspect I really like is the way the images bleed off the grid. This adds a quirky feel but also gives the design a larger sense of space and stops it from feeling constrained. Clicking on any one of the images opens this slideshow, which lets the user quickly flip through all the photos. The large size allows the detail in each project to be clearly seen. Generous white borders are also used, which allow the photos to adhere to the bold, clean style of the main site. Overall, the design looks really beautiful. Let's look at the studio section. The studio section continues the design of the home page. The difference is that the snippets of text are interspersed with images. This works brilliantly as it allows each paragraph to be understood at a glance. One key feature of the text is that its placement isn't as organic as the photos. It instead follows a strict left-to-right order. This is a vital feature as we are used to reading left to right, so going against this would create confusion. The final section is the feed page. This aggregates all the company's social media content into one place, displaying them in the same grid layout as the front page. Like the rest of the site, it takes a photo-led approach, and so the user has to hover over the images to display the text. Normally this would be annoying, as the user should always understand where a link leads to before they click on it. However, here it works well, as the photos give a good indication of the link's content. The grey background doesn't work very well, as it fails to match the white background used on the other pages. I presume this has been done deliberately to mark out the feed section as being special, but as there is no real need for it to be differentiated. It just ends up looking like an accident. Let's examine the use of colour. As the site is going for a bold and simple look, the colour scheme consists primarily of black and white. However, blue is used as an accent colour. The blue is quite strong, so the site wisely uses it frugally. It's only reserved for a full stop in the logo, the active link in the navigation, and as a background for the hover boxes. Because the site is so simply designed, there's a risk that the user might fail to take notice of the company's name, but the addition of the bright blue lets the brand stand out a little bit more. Let's analyse the navigation. As discussed previously, the navigation is presented vertically, which is quite unusual on the web. Normally, this would create a usability problem, but it works well here as there are only 3 links. The navigation is also surrounded by plenty of white space, which makes it easier to read. One really neat feature is that when clicking on the link, the new page slides into view instead of loading as a separate page. It's a simple design feature, but it looks slick. Let's examine the site on mobile. Like many websites these days, the mobile design collapses into a single column. Thankfully, unlike other sites, YLS has made the effort to resize the tiles, which makes the layout far easier to navigate. The only problem is that on mobile, hover doesn't work, so unlike desktop, the user can't hover over the tiles to see information about each of the items. They should have perhaps redesigned the layout to ensure the text captions were permanently displayed under each photo. For the studio page, the organic grid layout is abandoned and is instead structured like a regular web page. This is a good design decision, as on mobile the organic layout would be cumbersome and unwieldy. In conclusion, YLS is a brilliant example of bold, clean design. The site establishes its identity through its unique layout, which will leave a lasting impression on users. In addition, the simplicity empowers the photos, allowing the beauty and elegance of the studio's creations to be clearly visible. That's it for this episode of Design Mind. A new episode of Design Mind is released every Monday and Thursday. Find us on the web at designmind.info. Our YouTube channel is at youtube.com/designmindinfo. You can also find us on iTunes. We'd love it if you could leave us a review at any of these places. Until next time, happy designing!